So I'm sure you guys are all aware about Kristel Candelario. She was just sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole for going on vacation for 10 days and leaving her 16-month-old in a playpen to starve to death.
According to Cleveland Municipal Court records, Candelario told police she left her 16-month-old daughter home alone and unattended while she went on vacation to Puerto Rico and Detroit.
You're going to see some manufactured sadness. Although she is sad that she's going to spend the rest of her life in prison, I don't believe that she's sad about what happened to her child, because I saw the interrogation video and she was cold as a cucumber, never once cried or even got choked up over what happened to her daughter.
She was with no food, just with a meal, because she was refusing. Maybe it's because she get vomiting 2 days,
Now watching this first clip as she reads a statement in front of the judge, and watch how she manufactures some tears. Again, you're going to see her get choked up, but that's, I think, much more because she's about to spend the whole rest of her life in prison.
Your Honor, good morning. Sorry.
Did you catch that? When she apologized to the judge, she took off her glasses to make sure everyone could see her eyes, which had no tears in them, by the way. She flicked her hair back and said, "Sorry."
Sorry.
Under normal circumstances, this may be credible, but in this circumstance, it's not. If you would have saw the surveillance video, you would know what I was talking about. So she apologized to the judge to look as though she had some empathy, but I'm not sure about that. Let's keep going.
Hay mucho dolor que tengo con respecto a la pérdida de mi bebé Yailin.
There's so much pain that I have in regards to the loss of my baby, Aileen.
Notice how she just made it about her.
There's so much pain that I have in regards to the loss of my baby, Aileen.
She said, there's so much pain that I have in regards to the loss of this baby. Not about the baby, only about her.
Estoy muy dolida por todo lo que pasó.
I'm extremely hurt about everything that happened.
I'm extremely hurt about everything that happened. What about your daughter? Before we go any further, if you have anything you want to say about how you feel about what she's saying about how it's about her and not about her daughter, put it in the comment section, because I will be reading those a little bit later.
Pero nadie sabe cuánto yo estaba sufriendo.
But nobody knew how much I was suffering
Y por lo que estaba pasando.
and what I was going through.
This one irritates the fire out of me. Guys, look at this. She said, nobody knew how much I was suffering, as she looked over at the jury and nodded her head. If you watch this, look at how she's nodding her head as she's looking over to the jury. When people nod their head when they talk, they're trying to get you to agree with them.
Todos los días le pido perdón a Dios y a mi hija, Yailin.
Every day I ask forgiveness from God.
Okay, guys, now we're going to see what's called taking holy ground. Anytime this happens in body language, what this means is that when the words you speak, you know there's nowhere that you can go to justify your actions. So what do? You don't appeal to any authority here. You go to the highest authority. You bring God into the picture. In body language and in psychology, this is called taking holy ground. The idea here is that if you say something about God has forgiven me, or I've asked God for forgiveness, or God understands, or I swear to God, if you say anything like this, it simply means no matter what you think, you cannot challenge me, because I've just taken authority at the highest of all levels. She's trying not to be challenged on anything that she's saying.
Soy una persona creyente de Dios.
I'm a person who believes in God.
I'm a person who believes in God too, but listen, look what she does when she says this. She says, I'm a person that believes in God. And as she's saying it, once again, looking at the jury and nodding her head as she's saying this. You know what this means by now, at least you should. When you're nodding your head, when you're talking, you're trying to get the other person to agree with you.
Y reconozco hoy que todos y todas, muchas ocasiones, somos tentados por el enemigo.
And I recognize today that all of us are sometimes subject to the enemy.
Now she's bringing the devil into it. She just lectured that she's telling everybody that sometimes all of us, including me, are subject to the enemy. This means the devil. So she's not only taking the highest of grounds in her defense with God, she's taking the lowest of responsibility by invoking the devil. This is the classic, the devil made me do it. And what does this mean? It means that she can't be blamed for what she did.
Dios y mi hija me han perdonado.
God and my daughter have forgiven me.
God and my daughter have forgiven me. What does this mean? This means you must forgive me. This means as a jury and as a judge, you must forgive me. Remember, she hasn't been sentenced yet. She's hoping to play on the sympathy of the jury. She's hoping to play on the sympathy of everyone who's watching, and especially the judge. She's playing on the sympathy of the judge. God has forgiven me, and there's no higher authority than that. And even my daughter has forgiven me. So the implication is, people, jury, witnesses, judge, you must forgive me. All right, now let's watch her get sentenced. As she's being sentenced, when the judge is talking about life imprisonment and talking about guilt of all these counts, her face never changes. There's no remorse in her face. Gone is all the crying. Gone is all the labored breathing. Gone is even her blink rate. She's not even blinking hardly at all. She has no feeling for what's being said here. And this makes sense for anyone that would go on vacation for 10 days and leave a 16-month-old to starve to death and take pictures of having fun and laughing and having drinks on the beach. There is something wrong in your head. I don't have time to unpack it today, but I promise you I can tell you what I think is wrong in her head. Be that as it may, watch how she stays stoic and doesn't react at all to a life sentence in prison with no possibility of parole. Guilty, guilty, guilty.
On count one, aggravated murder, I'm going to sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. On count five, I'm going to sentence you to 8 years to run concurrent to count one. I'm going to tell you, Kristel, this is probably one of the most difficult, horrific cases to listen to hear, and to see. And I can tell you that I appreciate the fact that the state of Ohio presented this matter in a professional way, and the defense has acted in a professional way. You have a right to appeal my sentence. Do you have the money or means to hire a lawyer at this time?
No.
All right. I'll appoint a lawyer to represent her on appeal. And on the endangering children, because of the Reagan-Tokes thing, it would be 8 to 12 years. That would be concurrent with the aggravated murder, which is life without parole. Is there anything else, Mr. Smith, on behalf of the defense?
Nothing further.
Anything on behalf of the defense?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. The court's adjourned.
Big picture here, there are people among us that have zero empathy for other people. There's a reason for all this. It falls under antisocial personality disorder, but it also falls under the guise of some of the explanations that we have for both psychopathy and sociopathy. I would have to do a lot more research to figure out which one of those she fits into, but this is why people don't have sympathy or empathy for other people. I'll tell you more about that in another video. If you're sickened by this like I am, throw it up in the comments section. If you have anything to say, let me know. I'll put it in the comments section. If you have made it this far, check out one of these other videos over here, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video.